Hello again, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Focus Vandalia. My name is Rich Hopkins. I'm the communications manager for the city. And on today's program, we're going to be taking a look at an ordinance passed back in August by Vandalia City Council. It's an ordinance that could go a long way towards making our sidewalks, our driveways, even our bushes a little cleaner moving forward. We've all dealt with them. Those ad circulars placed in plastic bags and then tossed onto your driveway. Vandalia City Manager John Cruzy says an ordinance passed in August now limits where those unsolicited materials can be placed.
So the ordinance restricts where unsolicited written materials can be placed throughout the city. So we've been getting complaints from residents over the last several months that various types of newspaper ads have been thrown in their driveway, on their sidewalk, and in the street in front of their homes.
Cruzy says a number of citizens have contacted his office over the past several months, complaining about the haphazard methods used by the delivery people to distribute the ads they didn't even ask for.
They're driving around town throwing out the window, and hopefully they hit the driveway. Most times they don't. And so this ordinance would prohibit them from throwing such advertisements out the window of a moving vehicle. Again, it also restricts on where those advertisements can be placed.
If you're wondering how this ordinance impacts the delivery of your newspaper, the short answer is it doesn't.
We're only talking about things that are unsolicited. So if we're talking about your newspaper subscription, which you've solicited, again, they can throw it up in your driveway. That's not an offense. But these folks are restricted to placing these unsolicited materials. They have to be placed either on your front porch if you have one. They can be securely attached to the front porch. They can be placed in a mail slot up by your front door or at your home. They can be placed between a screen door and your front door if you have one. They can be placed in a distribution box that's adjacent to your home. They could put it in, some folks have the newspaper receptacle out by their mailbox. The advertisement can be placed in there, or it could be provided to you personally. If you have to be out in your driveway, they can hand it to you.
Vandalia police officers won't be patrolling the neighborhoods looking for materials placed in restricted areas. In fact, any violations will come from citizens calling to report them.
It's going to have to be complaint driven because, again, if a staff member or a police officer sees an advertisement in somebody's driveway, you're correct. We don't know whether or not that homeowner has asked for that to be delivered or if it was unsolicited, correct. So it has to be complaint driven.
So there are no misunderstandings. City personnel have already reached out to some of the companies that might be impacted by this ordinance.
We've notified some of the folks that we suspect some of the companies that we suspect have been distributing these around town to put them on notice that they're no longer permitted to do this the way they have been doing it, and they know what our new rules are, so we expect them to follow that immediately moving forward.
While the ordinance has only been in effect a few weeks, the early verdict from frustrated citizens has been positive.
The online responses have been positive. Again, people don't want these advertisements littering their driveway. They don't want them laying out in the middle of the road in front of their home. They don't want to drive around town seeing them littering the right-of-way.
Once again, the key word to this ordinance is the word unsolicited. Now, Vandalia Division of Police officers won't know if written materials that end up on your property were asked for or not, so they're going to rely on you to report a violation. So, if you find an ad circular that's been placed on your sidewalk, on your driveway, or even here in your bushes, it's going to be up to you to give the officers a call, 898-5868. They'll take it from there. That's going to do it for this edition of Focus Vandalia. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.